Guys, gather to the assembly. We're going to start a great program and a raffle for a new car if you want. All right, let's start. Good afternoon. My name is Gianluca Galletto. I'm a senior advisor here at Smart City Expo. I also work with companies that provide solutions to governments. And in this case, I'm proud to present GEO.Works. And Michael Kelso is the head of marketing for GEO.Works. GEO.Works is a company that was started in Europe and then expanded in the US. What they do, they automate permitting for the use of streets, the right-of-way and highways and anything you want to, if you want to build something, if you want to dig, if you want to have an event, you have to start and ask a permit to close the streets. And what they do is they made it extremely easy, and they work with they have about 90 clients. 90. In Europe, they work with the municipality of Milan uses them, Munich, Stuttgart, Florence. Apparently, I learned that Florence is a real nightmare for when you have to manage traffic. And in the States, the state of Texas, Montana, and the LA airport. So I'd like Michael to talk about his solution, because I think it's really useful for city governments to use. Yeah. And so I think we'll start with a video, probably. I don't know. You tell a few words. Actually,
bear with us for a minute.
Before you start with the video, just say a little bit better than I did what you actually do.
Yeah, we're software as a solution. Is my mic working? My software as a solution. We do permitting software for cities, counties, municipalities, departments of transportation that are represented here. So we are geared for cities so they can start up their permitting system. What we found out is that, like Gianluca said, there are a lot of companies and cities and towns and municipalities that utilize paper for permitting still. We want to take them a leap into the future and get them all online and use one of our solutions if possible. So that's one of our best things, is that we can provide a clear, concise roadmap and make it clear and less confusing for cities and counties moving forward. So
I have to say, Michael, I met them in Barcelona. I've been going to Barcelona, the Smart City Expo World Congress, for I think 10 years in a row. And I met them 2 years ago. And frankly, when they said, we do this, and I figured, I wasn't impressed, because I thought I was sure there were so many other companies already doing that. And instead, to my surprise, they're much better than the competition. Because I did some research, and also I didn't know that a lot of cities are really behind in using these tools.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. So we're finding that out, like I said, and Gianluca emphasized that. We can streamline, we can upgrade, and make things smoother. We're not siloing the information anymore. Everybody can see the dashboard. So let's watch our little video, if you bear with us, at 2.5 minutes roughly, and we'll go from there, and then we'll talk a little bit more. Thank you.
Or non-compliant contractors, damaged utilities, and cuts on newly paved roads. We have a solution to these problems: GEO.Works. GEO.Works is a suite of products for handling utility, encroachment, and outdoor advertising permits, inspections, and traffic management. It supports project utility investigations, as-builts, coordination, and conflict analysis. GEO.Works is distributed by GEO.Works International. Our customers see real benefits using our permitting software. Automated processing frees up valuable resources. Processing time is reduced. Internal and external coordination is simple and quick. Inspectors can efficiently schedule their work, and damage to roads and utilities is minimized. Managers can see at a glance on a web-based map what work is planned, scheduled, under construction, and completed. Our multidisciplinary team understands the nuances of government oversight responsibilities and has applied state-of-the-art technology to produce innovative solutions. We have numerous long-term customers in the US and Europe. We continually enhance and improve our products, the benefits of which are available to all our customers. GEO.Works is fully configurable from the admin pages. customers can manage users, modify roles, workflows, wizards, labels, required fields, dictionaries, reports, and printable forms. It is fully web GIS based and dynamically links to your GIS layers. GEO.Works interfaces bidirectionally with existing systems using web APIs. And you can automate events and alerts based on alphanumeric values and geographic location. For example, shop clocks can be set for review deadlines, and reviews assigned to specific departments based on the printed location. Data are securely stored on Microsoft Azure. Sensitive data are protected and only available on an as-needed basis. GEO.Works can be integrated with external authentication systems. It is easy to use, configurable, and works on PCs, tablets, and smartphones. For more information, contact us. Thanks for watching.
Can you go like in practice? Because that's the first question I asked you when I met. What is that it really concretely makes it so compelling for both the point of view of the city, whoever's managing this, but also for whoever is going to submit for a permit, like a utility or an event planner?
Yeah, it's a good question. So there is a win-win scenario, which I think we all try to get to at some point. So the win for our customers, which are usually contractors, they can be city, municipality workers, but there's an intake form. So our web-based program starts with an intake form. They have a login, they get in, they can apply for a permit on their side. Once the permit is in the system, the city side, the county side, they're on the inside, they're reviewing the permits, they're adding fees or verifying fees. They can also program inspections, they can upload documents like the mapping that goes along with every permit. They can schedule on-site meetings. You can do anything, uploading all the documents to the same file, same permit. So that's one of the biggest things, is to get everything online, and it's really transparent. It's really transparent. So sorry. It's really transparent because I worked for nearly 20 years in municipal government in Colorado. So I got phone calls and complaints all the time, or more than questions. So having this dashboard available for the internal crew so they can see what's going on all the way up to the mayor, very helpful. It's very helpful. So then on the other side, so the other best part, one of the best parts about GEO.Works, it's in our name, we geo-reference everything. There's never just utilization of a parcel or an address. Those things are helpful, but sometimes you may not be in an area where there is an address or a parcel. So you can use a point, you can use a polygon, you can use any of those types of ways to then circle around your work site, and it will show everything that's happening in that area. So it is all taking data from what the contractor or anybody else inputs, and we go from there. So I think those are the two main points. So
Can you make an example of a screw up instead that this solves? Like what can go wrong and how the process like...
Yeah, well there's a communication piece of it too. So we had, by the way, there's a small town in Italy, San Benedetto del Tronto. I don't know if you heard this story or not, Gianluca. So they scheduled a heavy metal concert at the same time as a religious concert in the same square at the same time. So if you can imagine the complaints that came from that. So we were able to...
This was a metal, I think, right?
Heavy metal.
There was a
right
religious...
next to a religious one.
Same,
so
okay.
I was not there, but I understand there were a lot of complaints to the city managers, etc. So that's one of the big things is, and I'll reiterate it again, the complaints that we receive, we can cut those way down. And then, listen, there's some efficiencies that can be had with any of this type of software that anybody has, but we can make it all transparent for those in city government as well as people that are applying for the permits. So anything else, Gianluca?
Yeah. I'm thinking about, if you have any questions specifically, also feel free to just raise your hand and do it.
Let me talk about Milan.
But talk about,
let me talk about Milan. So in Milan in 2019, they had a problem. They had about 15,000 city workers over maybe 50 departments. And so we met with them, and we were able to then take their processes, which they were identifying. They were not communicating across any boundaries. Everything was confusing. And so we were able to sit down with them, go over their processes from an IT perspective, from an engineering perspective, and we were able to give them a good solution that they were really comfortable with. And now they have so much work that's being done, obviously in precluding the Olympics next year.
Yeah,
So Milano is one of our shining stars where we saw the problem, we have a solution, and then we're helping them on the backside. So there's a good example also is Florence. Florence is not too far away from Milano. They had congested. If you've ever been to Florence, if you've been lucky to, like me, I've been lucky to go. They are very congested in a small area. But so they have not only just traffic control, but pedestrian traffic control and all kinds of construction work that happens. So imagine if the right hand's not talking to the left hand, it's very difficult for them to then plan and program. And then you get a lot of angry citizens that live there, not just tourists, but people that live there that can't commute and get around. So our solutions can help with any of those types of things. So.
Anything else you want to add, or like one question that we had before someone was, and I think it's a valid one, is this: you need to have good quality data.
Yeah.
If you don't have good quality of data, for example, Milan is a digital twin. I mean, and so is it going to still work if the data is not good?
Well, I mean, that's always the case. It's a question we can always answer. So we will work with the municipalities, depending on what workflows and what data they want. But let me just assure everybody, too, our security systems are really good, like everybody's are nowadays. We keep that in mind. We have, I think our biggest takeaway is that we want to make everything simple and move it into the next arena. We want to get rid of paper and paper forms and sitting on people's desks for weeks and days at a time. So that's really what we do. We take and move it into the internet, and we have everything available on their permit. So what makes it clear is that everybody has their own permit for their own device. So it could be an excavation permit for digging. It could be a special event permit. So depending upon what workflow and what cities require, we can modify and tailor to that. So.
I think we have, I don't know, if we have any question from the floor, do you want to add anything? Because then I think we're pretty much done. And we have the next company presenting.
Yes, okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike.
Oh, wait, yes.
Oh, there's a
No,
there's
yes,
no, wait.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a-
But I'm trying to figure out, okay, if you do smart roads and stuff, that's one thing. But fossil fuels are a lot of what's contributing to the destruction of our planet and our communities. So, like, how can we take what you do and apply it to negating the impact of that? Is that possible, or is that two separate things, or what's going on?
I think it's a little bit different. We handle the permitting for any work that's done in the city right-of-ways for planned events, special events, excavations, and stuff like that. So I'm not sure if the permitting side is really applicable to that.
The only I think connection that I see there is that when you make permitting more efficient, it reduces the number of people and vehicles, like including if let's say traffic flows better, and you have less congestion, then you're definitely also reducing the amount of pollution and CO2 you're putting, because that is the way I see the connection.
Yeah, that's a good connection. Yeah, so hopefully that answers it. So it's always a good thing. I agree with you, by the way.
Thanks very much.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.